Well, earlier this week, 33 people collapsed in New York at the same time after smoking a bad batch of synthetic marijuana known as K2. This isn't just a problem in big cities, however. It is a problem sweeping across America. In 2009, there were 14 calls made to Poison Control about this drug called K2. But just last year, that number skyrocketed to nearly 8,000. So what is K2 and just how dangerous is it? Here with some answers, Fox News Medical Aid Team's Dr. Marc Siegel. Thank you, Dr. Siegel, for being here. So what exactly is K2?
First of all, it is not marijuana. So the biggest problem here is when we call it synthetic marijuana, we're already sending the wrong information. You know what? It mimics the same receptors in the brain as marijuana, but guess what? It's usually up to 100 times more powerful.
Wow.
100 times. So this is not the same drug at all. And it's also made in a chemist's lab, which means they can change the formula a little bit and a state can't ban it. So versions of this are legal in every state in the union. And laws are not keeping up with this. So listen to some of these symptoms here, Ainsley. High blood pressure, high heart rate, kidney failure, psychosis, seizures, no sense of pain sensation. You can bang into things you don't even know. You're like a zombie on the street. Vomiting, paralysis, cramps, kidney failure, stroke, heart attack, and death. People have died from this. This is extremely dangerous. So kids take this, they put it on marijuana and smoke it, or some plant, smoke it. They do not know what they're getting into.
Dr. Siegel, when I was down for spring break doing an investigative report at what these kids are taking, the cops were telling me that kids are taking synthetic drugs. The chemists changed the formula a little bit, and those drugs are not illegal, because if you look at the list of legal or illegal drugs, they're very specific. But these kids are taking drugs that are synthetically changed, and so therefore they're not illegal, so the cops can't arrest the kids.
And when a state makes an old version illegal, guess what the chemists do, the drug dealers do? They make a new version. So Senator Jeff Klein here in New York is finally trying to get a law passed, and he got it past the Senate, but not the Assembly, which says anything that mimics a controlled substance has got to be illegal.
Exactly.
Any chemical has got to be illegal that does that. That's hugely important. You said almost 8,000 calls to poison centers last year. Kids are struggling. They end up in the hospital. They end up having trouble breathing. They end up dying from this.
So are kids just buying this on the street? What do parents need to know?
Well, that's the first thing parents need to know, is that your kids could buy this on the street. Number two, it is not marijuana. I really want to get that out of there, because this is so much more powerful than marijuana. The idea that you can end up with permanent kidney failure of this, end up on dialysis on this. Usually I say I don't want to scare people. This thing, I want to scare people. It's called K2. It's called Spice. It is not a recreational drug. It should not be on the streets.
So what should parents look for? Is it a pill or is it a weed? What is it?
Most of the time, it's something you spray onto something that you're smoking, or it can be put in tea. Those are the two most common ways it's being used, as a spray or as part of tea, not a pill. And again, there are head shops selling this. There are herbal shops selling this. This is rampant. It's all over the place. If there are people
that are watching that have taken it, what's your recommendation to them? What's your message?
If you've taken this and you're not feeling well, get to see a physician right away. Get to the hospital right away. We can save you, by the way. We can put you on intravenous. We can watch you. If, God forbid, you need dialysis, we can give it to you. I could save 99% of the people who take this. But if you're on the streets, I can't help you. Get to medical attention if you've taken this. Get these laws passed. Every state should have a law banning synthetic substances that mimic controlled substances. I agree with Senator Klein, and I applaud him for bringing this to our attention.
And your message should be also, don't take it. It's extremely dangerous, right?
Never use this. By the way, don't use marijuana either. Marijuana can interfere with your thinking to the point where it ruins your career or you don't do well on tests. But compared to this, marijuana is mild compared to this. We start with a culture, Ainsley, where we use marijuana supposedly for medical reasons. We're not right to do that. Everyone says, oh, this is synthetic. This is easier to get. This is way, way more dangerous.
All right. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.